Hey everybody, welcome to Glaze Day. When you come in, you should see your wheel set up like this. So you're going to have the plastic over the wheel. That is to make sure that we don't get any of the wax on the wheel itself. You're going to have a small banding wheel that you're going to glaze your pieces on, and you're going to have a bowl with water and a sponge to clean up your pieces as we're working on them. There are two types of brushes that we have at the studio. These are for glaze only, so you want to make sure that we don't get any wax on these brushes. And these are wax only. Now you can see the only difference between these and the glaze brushes is that these have blue tape that is around them. So if you have any paintbrush that has blue tape around it, it is for wax only, and it needs to go back in this container when it's clean. When these are used for the glaze, you need to put them back in this container for the glaze. Please do not leave either one of these brushes at the sink. After you wash them with soap and water, please put them back in their vases. When you guys are glazing, you're going to want to look at this color wheel to be able to determine what glaze that you're looking for. If you're looking for mixing clear, which is C11, it is down on the bottom under the white. The white is C10 for snow. So if you look up here, that is snow, C10, and that is the mixing clear, C11. So you're going to want to look at this wheel to get an accurate depiction of the color and how it looks on our clay. So if the clay was just by itself and clear, it is going to be this sandy brown color with just a clear glaze that is over it. So Monique can go over the C's that are celadons, and she'll go over the PCs, which are not see-through, and she can explain a little bit about how these will help you see through the texture that you have on your piece. So if you have any transfers or you rolled on any texture, you're going to want to use one of the C's. However, you're going to want to avoid the red, the white, and the black. Obsidian, C1. Those are celadons, but they're not as see-through. So if you have texture on and you use obsidian, snow, or snapdragon, you're going to see less of that texture. So you're going to want to stay with the blue, C29, yellow, C60, pink, C53, and green, C43, to be able to see your texture. When you're going with the PCs, these are going to cover your texture, but they have break lines that change the color. So this is all one glaze, but the color changes because on every edge, you're going to get a different color. So that's what that would look like. Now, as you're working on your piece, you can glaze the inside and the outside, and they do not have to be the same color. So if you decide to put a purple on the inside and a blue on the outside, you would just brush the purple on the inside, and then you would brush the blue on the outside, thinking about what color you want to be on the rim of your piece, either the color from the outside or the color from the inside. You can look at these cups for color. However, these were dipped in a bucket. They were not brushed on. So if you're looking at this just specifically for the color, you can, but this coating is going to be different than if you were brushing it on yourself. So just pay attention to that. An example for color. This is one color on the inside. This is PC33. This is another color on the outside. This is Mako Winter Woods. So it's two different glazes, one painted on the inside and one painted on the outside. Same here, where this one was painted all white first, and then it was painted with rainforest on top. Now rainforest is normally a dark green, but if you put rainforest on top of the snow, it will turn blue. So she did it on both the inside and the outside of the piece. After putting snow C10 over everything, she put C49 just on one part, and you can see that she brushed it on and created a line of difference. Okay, so when you're starting on your piece, you want to wax the bottom of your piece, coming to the edge and coming up just a little bit. If you get glaze on the bottom of your piece, it is going to stick to the shelf that it has to sit on, and then I will not be able to take it off the shelf without breaking it. So you want to make sure that you wax the entire bottom of your piece and come up off the edge so that the glaze does not go down to the very bottom of your piece. When you are glazing, after the bottom of the wax is dry, and you'll know that it's dry because it won't be sticky anymore. When you're glazing, you want to start with the inside of your piece first. You're going to be taking the glaze and brushing it on until you get color everywhere. That is going to be your first coat. Once you get color everywhere, you're going to go back over it a second time. That is going to be your second coat. Your second coat is going to take a while to dry everywhere. Let it dry completely so that you can get good color over your piece. If you do not let it dry completely, you will get different colors in different spots because some parts will only have 2 layers while other parts have 3. So once it completely dries, then you'll go back over it again for a 3rd layer. I suggest doing the inside of your piece first and then turning your piece upside down so you can work on the outside to do 3 layers while the inside is drying. So then you would do the same thing, 1 layer on the outside over the whole piece, then wait, 2 layers on the outside, wait and let it dry. When it's drying, you can work on your second piece. So if you've got 2 pieces, you can do inside, inside. While you're waiting, grab your second piece. Do the inside, inside. By the time you did that, you can come back and do the 3rd layer, which then is going to take a while to dry. So then you can turn this upside down and do the outside, outside. While this is waiting, do your second piece, the 3rd layer on the inside, turn it over, do the outside, outside. Come back to this one, do the last layer, let this dry, go to the last one, do the last layer, let that dry, and then you would be done. When you're finished with both pieces and they're dry, you want to take the sponge with no water, so you're squeezing out all the water, and you want to wipe any wax that is at the bottom of your piece that accidentally got there while you were putting it on. That's what the wax is there for, so that you can get the glaze off. I'm sorry if I said wax. So you can get the glaze off the bottom of your piece. The wax is going to make sure that as you're wiping it, it comes off easily. So the wax helps the glaze not stick so that you could clean it off at this time. So you're going to clean off all the glaze. Once the glaze is cleaned off the bottom of both pieces, you are good to take the pieces and put them on your shelf. The last thing to do is to wash your brushes with soap and water until the water runs clear out of the brushes. Then you put them back in your vase. Your cleanup is going to be to carefully grab this plastic and throw it away, trying not to get any of the glaze particles that might be on the plastic in the wheel. Then you can leave the banding wheel on the big wheel. You're gonna dump out all of the water that's in here and leave these at the sink. and you can stack these on the table next to the brushes. If you use any of these containers for your glaze, you would just wash them and stack them back on the table. So when you're done, these should be stacked. Those should be clean at the sink. This can stay at the wheel. This should be in the garbage, and you're done. Happy glazing. I hope you guys have fun. If you need to ask questions, ask a ton of questions. I will be able to answer them as I'm at the workshop. I will try to answer as much as I can. Hope you guys have fun. Bye.